Hi, my name's Tegan and I'm 23 and I live in Sydney. I think almost anyone has experienced cancer before. I know in my family there's been breast cancer, lung cancer, bowel cancer, you name it. But brain cancer, I'd never even heard of it until my dad was diagnosed. So Dad was 51 and from diagnosis to death, he only lasted 3 months. As most people know who knew Dad, he was the life of the party. He basically made like every one of my parties about him. He was running a large business for 15 years in the construction industry. He was always into fitness. He had the best sense of humour. He was such a family man. And he always saw the best in people. I think what made him the most special was the emotional support he gave our family unit. So there are different types of brain cancer and different grades. Dad had a type called glioblastoma, and the grades go from 1 to 4, obviously 1 being not as bad as grade 4. Basically, we got the worst possible news. The tumour was grade 4. It was fast growing and it was aggressive. Essentially, the doctors weren't able to operate and remove any part of the cancer because it was so large and embedded in his brain. The risk of impairment was too high. Brain cancer is particularly tricky because of the blood-brain barrier. You can't use any of the drugs designed for other cancers because of this. The first doctor we ever spoke to told us that he wasn't going to make it out of ICU. He had a seizure on the beach and then a massive bleed on his brain in hospital. And there was nothing more that they could do. Thankfully, the swelling subsided. We got him home out of hospital. We became his full-time carers and he started radiotherapy. All the radiotherapy was doing was trying to stop it from growing quickly. Because it was grade 4, it was really aggressive. Therapy wasn't going to be able to shrink it or kill it completely. He was in a wheelchair when we left the hospital, but he learnt to walk again. And towards the end, he even went back to work. Throughout the whole process, he never lost his sense of humour, which was really special. He was defying all odds until he had a catastrophic brain bleed on October 1st. Unfortunately, he was already brain dead by the time we got to the hospital. After losing Dad to brain cancer in 2019, my friend's mum actually mentioned something about the Walk for Brain Cancer. I found the foundation and I discovered how much I love fundraising and how much people actually need these funds. The statistics are pretty terrifying. What surprised me the most is that brain cancer actually kills more children than any other disease in Australia. So since 2019, I've made it my mission to fundraise as much as possible so that other families don't have to experience this horrific disease. Being able to use your grief for something good and make a difference to someone else's life is really empowering. So far, I've raised over $35,000 for the foundation, and this year I started working for the foundation. Working for the foundation has helped me a lot to process my grief and face it head on. I think it's important to be able to talk about it, to process your emotions and move through grief. The foundation actually added improving quality of life of patients to their mission, which really resonated with me. Dad's diagnosis meant that his quality of life was our main focus. The tumour couldn't be cut out. He was never going to be in remission. He was never going to be brain cancer free. We just wanted to make sure that he was comfortable and we could make the most of what time we had left. Working at the foundation gives me a lot of hope, seeing that we are funding a lot of research projects that do focus on improving quality of life for patients. I think the main message that I want to get across is that there needs to be greater awareness. Statistics haven't changed in almost 30 years. People don't know about brain cancer until they've been affected. There are no regular checks like other cancers where you can detect cancer early. Breast and prostate cancer are the perfect examples of the change and progress that can actually be made. I think although the past 2 years have been really difficult, my grief has empowered me to make a positive change. Everyone has the ability to make a difference, and looking towards the future, there is hope.